Welcome to Ascend, the unified data engineering platform for building and running autonomous pipelines. This video will provide you with an overview of how to ingest data into Snowflake. To start, let's build a read connector, which is how we bring the data into Ascend. We'll click on Build, and we can see the variety of read connectors that Ascend supports, including all the common blob storage providers and warehouses. We're building more read connectors all the time, but you always have the ability to use custom Python to bring in any other source that you may need. In this example, we'll build an S3 connector. Name it, and provide some bucket details. Test our connection to see that we can find files and that everything is okay. Next, we'll need to tell Ascend how to parse this data. All the common formats are already handled. If for some reason your data is not in a standard format, you're never stuck in Ascend. You can always pick parser function and write the Python code necessary to deal with the data. In this case, we have some Parquet data. After selecting that, we can see that Ascend automatically generates the schema. The last step is selecting the refresh schedule. This schedule is not a naive pipeline run. Rather than saying when the pipeline should run, it dictates when to look for new data. On this schedule, Ascend will automatically look to see if any files are new, updated, or deleted, and only propagate those particular detected changes through the pipeline. We'll pick an hourly refresh schedule that refreshes 5 minutes after the hour. With that, let's hit Create. And we've created our read connector. Ascend has automatically brought in the data, and we can start exploring. In here, we can see the individual records, but we can also query the entirety of the dataset. This allows us to bring the full power of SQL to exploring the data as we're ingesting it. Let's see what the first 100 records look like. It's looking pretty good, but one thing I noticed is that we don't have a ride ID, something to uniquely identify each ride. Let's go ahead and generate one. Starting from here, we'll add a table alias, and let's start concatenating together the pickup latitude, the pickup longitude, and the date time of the pickup. That seems fairly unique for now. We'll also go ahead and SHA this so that it looks a little bit more like an ID. And let's go ahead and name this as ride ID. Let's give that a run. And that's looking pretty good. Now that we're happy with our transformation here, we can go ahead and remove the limit. And all we have to do is hit this toTransform button, name it, and save that off. Ascend automatically starts running this transform component, but notice is not trying to redo the pipeline from the beginning. There's no reason to re-ingest the data from S3. Although we can run our transformations on Snowflake, Ascend transformations run on Spark, so you get the full capabilities of also being able to code in Python or Scala, allowing for more advanced use cases like machine learning. The last part of our ingest to Snowflake is, yes, writing this data out to Snowflake. To do that, we'll create a write connector. Go ahead and choose Snowflake as the write connector location, and fill in our account details. Pick our credentials from what's available in Ascend. And we'll also select some intermediate store information. This is where the files get staged before they get copied to Snowflake. Again, we'll provide some credentials there. And then the last choice that we have here is how to handle schema mismatches, where the table in Snowflake does not quite match the schema that we have in Ascend. Naively, we could stop and display the error, but Ascend also gives us the option to go ahead and adapt to schema changes, including even type mismatches. This allows us to very quickly go to our transforms, add columns, change column types, and have it immediately rematerialized in Snowflake without even having to hit run. We'll go ahead and create that. And Ascend has, as usual, started to write that data into Snowflake. Note that Ascend automatically loads the data into Snowflake incrementally by default, but Ascend will switch automatically to a full reload based on business logic changes. And that's it. We've built a production pipeline that will automatically keep data up to date, retry any failures, and notify upon any irrecoverable issues. Thanks for watching.